Well, I'm Joe Bob Briggs, and this is a really interesting phenomenon we have here with a little movie called Warlock Moon from the 70s, which is not remembered by many people today. But when Tobe Hooper was doing the final edit on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, he heard that another movie with a very similar plot, an eerily similar plot, was about to come out, and he went into an absolute panic. And that movie was Warlock Moon, which did come out before the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but fortunately for Tobe, it didn't really catch people's attention, and then he released his movie a few months later, and history was made. Now, I think Texas Chainsaw Massacre may still be the highest grossing movie in history, and this is actually probably one of the lowest grossing movies in history. So how could this happen? Well, either cannibal stories were just really, really popular in the 70s, which they were actually, come to think of it, or there was a little polite thievery going on, because this movie comes from San Francisco, Texas Chainsaw Massacre comes from Austin, and in the days of the hippie, those were like twin cities. People were going back and forth all the time. And there's another eerie coincidence, actually. Both movies are basically the fairy tale Hansel and Gretel. That's what they're based on. Well, one of them is Hansel and Gretel, and the other one is what would happen if Hansel tried to eat Gretel. But either way, it's just too strange. And at any rate, I don't want to tell you too much about Warlock Moon in advance because it's kind of twisty, but it stars two actors who would go on to fame mostly in television, not in movies. The girl is played by Laurie Walters, later known as Joni Bradford on 8 is Enough, and the boy is played by Joe Spano, whose big claim to fame would be the character Henry Goldblum on the series Hill Street Blues. This was the second film role for both actors. Spano had played Vic in American Graffiti, and Laurie had a small role in The Herod Experiment. And then they became the two carefree lovers on a San Francisco college campus. In fact, I think they used the actual Berkeley campus for this, who decide to go on a picnic, and they end up at an abandoned spa where there's an old crone and a ghost and a couple of medieval goons with axes. The original title of the film, by the way, was Bloody Spa, which in my opinion is a much better title because as far as I know, there's no warlock in the movie and no moon. So I don't know where they got Warlock Moon. The film got universally horrible reviews, but I happen to like it. I think it's underrated. It's also got that cheesy 70s look with the bell bottoms and the bad hair, which is always great for us here at Media Blasters. So I'll be with you for the play-by-play commentary, but first let's take a look at those drive-in totals. We have 7.5 dead bodies, 2 axe murders, door hacking, 1 devil worship circle, 5 maniac attacks, 1 cannibal legend, blood drinking, ghost in a wedding gown, drug-induced foggy cam, bloody face painting, tummy stabbing, gratuitous college lecture on deviancy, tea spiking, wine spiking, and blood spiking, syringe foo, heads roll, Drive-In Academy Award nominations for Harry Bauer as the gratuitous crusty old quail hunter, Laurie Walters for doing that silent scream thing so well, Joe Spano as the aspiring newspaper feature writer who likes to do obnoxious foreign accents, and especially Edna McAfee as the old crone, one of the greatest old crones in drive-in history. I give this 4 stars. Check it out, and remember, never ask what's in the mystery meat.